Hi guys. Now there are some things you should actually just leave alone and not talk about. I know that. The unfortunate thing is a 5-year-old kid getting a gun put to his head and his brains blown out. And what? Who spoke about it? Let's have a look quick. We can see it was the Washington Post, I think, was the only one that was talking about it. And then Tucker Carlson on his show. So I'm gonna play you that little bit of the story quickly so you get some background.
An awful lot of crime and violence going on right now. We try to highlight it, not for ghoulish reasons, but because we think it's important you know what's actually happening. This one's particularly horrifying. The killing of a 5-year-old boy shocked North Carolina, not getting a lot of national news coverage. Rick Leventhal has that story for us tonight. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Tucker, this wasn't a kid caught in the crossfire, a victim of some random drive-by. This was a little boy playing on his bicycle with his 7- and 8-year-old sisters nearby, shot point blank in the head. Funeral services are being held this hour in Wilson, North Carolina for 5-year-old Cannon Hinnant, who was supposed to start kindergarten this week. Witnesses say Cannon was playing on his bike in front of his dad's house Sunday afternoon when a man walked up, put a gun to his head, and pulled the trigger. Arriving officers and EMS attempted life-saving efforts and took the boy to the hospital, but Cannon could not be saved. The suspect, 25-year-old Darrius Sessoms, was arrested Monday and charged with first-degree murder. He lived next door and reportedly may have been angered because Cannon rode his bike on Sessoms' lawn earlier in the day. Cannon's mom wrote on Facebook, "My baby didn't see color. My baby made sure you knew he loved you, even if he only knew you 5 minutes. I don't care what damn color you were." And his grandmother asked, "When are we going to write Children's Lives Matter on Hollywood Boulevard?" Sessoms, who neighbors say had dinner with Cannon's father the night before the shooting, has a criminal record with firearms and drug convictions. Cannon's mom says she hopes Sessoms rots in hell. Tucker.
Boy, what a depraved story. Rick Leventhal, thanks so much.
Sure.
So, what do you say to that? These people have been neighbors for a while. It sounds like it's a religious family. The boy who got shot. The father invited the neighbor over for barbecue. When he was sitting in his car looking troubled the night before he shot the kid. I don't know if I understand it correctly, but it sounds like they went to church the next morning, came home, had a relaxed day at his sister's house, then came home, had like a little afternoon nap, and then the kids wanted to go play outside. And then they let the kids go play outside, he and his fiancée, and 20 minutes later, he hears the gunshot. Now, if you listen to the father talk, he's a Christian guy. Sounds like a very good guy. Looking out for his neighbors. And then his neighbor walks out and shoots his kid in the head. But I don't hear the outcry from Black Lives Matter for the 5-year-old kid that got shot in his head. I don't hear the white Black Lives Matter guys. I don't hear Antifa. I don't actually hear anybody. I don't hear the news go on about it. You know, I'm studying at a UK university, and I had a backlog of mails, and I went through my mails now, and I got at least 2 emails a week to say that this university stands behind the black community with this racism against them and so on. And I'm like, what racism? there isn't any racism. It's stuff that you're seeing that there isn't. It's like when and this was a guy that actually came up for the police. So I don't want to dump on him. I don't know what his name is. I think he was a wrestler or something, and a police officer actually sent him to like a boys, I wouldn't say a boys' school, but like a farm boys camp, rather than locking him up when he did something wrong, and he became very famous. And he spoke up for the police when George Floyd happened, and he also said that now he has to go sit down and have the talk with his kid. And I can never understand that, because all black people say that. I have to have a talk with my kid. What talk? That you shouldn't fuck with a police officer because he's gonna shoot you. My dad had that talk with me as well, by the way, and I'm not black. My dad said, listen to the police, otherwise they will shoot you. Now it's become a black thing. Every father has this chat. Don't be naughty, don't do this. Don't look through the window when your sister's friends are here. You know, the normal chats. And it's become we've become so racially isolated that even the conservative black people think that only they have a conversation about not breaking the law with their kids. My dad had it with me a couple of times. Look, I wasn't the favorite child in the house at one stage, and I know about being a horrible person and getting into trouble. I know all about that stuff. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, got all the speeches. Now I want to play something else, which is also not being reported on.
An argument over Black Lives Matter and language led to a confrontation and eventually gunfire early Sunday morning.
It was squashed. They went up the hill, left, and thought they left, but they were just sitting on St. Clair Street and waiting for us to come under the bridge. And that's when she got shot.
Jose admits he returned fire but didn't hit anyone and says his fiancee, Jessica Doty Whitaker, leaves behind a little boy.
I think she shouldn't have lost her life. She's got a 3-year-old son she loves dearly.
I didn't really want to make this video, but it's stuff that needs to be talked about, unfortunately. And I'm sure that this is not the only people that got killed by Black Lives Matter supporters. And I saw them trying to cop out and blame Antifa for all this other stuff when it was Black Lives Matter people, unless Antifa is also Black Lives Matter, black people as well. So I'm getting a bit confused because I thought Antifa was mainly white people, Black Lives Matter was black people, but when there's police being stabbed and stuff like that, then it seems to be Antifa that did it and not Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter were the guys burning down shit, breaking shit, hurting people. No, they were innocent. They were standing in a corner, and it was the Antifa guys that did all of that. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Just like the 5 guys that shot this woman, who's married to a Hispanic guy, so I reckon she's not a racist, or wasn't a racist. They say she said all lives matter. There was an argument about what they said and the language that they used and so on. And then she opened her mouth, which is not allowed. I didn't even know what to say. Imagine that happens to your kid. And what's the reason? So the police in 2 days haven't come back to him and said, what happened? Why? There's some speculation as to it's because he drove over the grass, you know. Then there's another story about a guy with a truck that drove over a guy with a Harley Davidson, a white guy with a Harley Davidson, because he believed that everybody that drives a Harley Davidson is a racist white person. So more and more these stories are coming out and it's not being reported on. There's like minimal stuff on it. And it's scary that a white life means so little at the moment. I want to play out with this little bit again about this boy, because it really bothers me, and it bothers the hell out of me that it doesn't bother other people.
Heartbreaking and disturbing tragedy out of North Carolina. A 5-year-old boy shot dead while riding his bicycle by his family's home on Sunday. Cannon Hinnant was playing with his 2 young sisters when police say a neighbor, Darrius Sessoms, walked up to the boy and shot him in the head at close range. His siblings witnessing this horrific act. Sessoms has been charged with first-degree murder. A motive has not been determined, but police say it was not random. Today, the community just held a memorial in the boy's honor.